With Wave 6's recent drop, it is finally time to share you guys my definitive ranking of all the tracks on a tier list. We're going to be playing all of them in order today, 200cc with power items only. We're going to talk about the highs and lows of each individual track, so be sure to comment down below what your favorite and least favorite track of this wave. As always, drop a like and subscribe for more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe content like this. So Wave 6 has been out for roughly a week and a half now. And you know the vibes. We are here today ranking every single Wave 6 track, but this time on a tier list. I still cannot believe we got 96 tracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's been surreal, guys. It's been a long 2 years, but we got all the tracks, man. And there were a lot of bangers. There's some that are kind of disappointing. But Wave 6, in my opinion, I think is pretty strong. I still believe it is the strongest wave out of all 6. You know, we got the Rocky Wrench over here. Love seeing him as an obstacle here in Rome Avanti. We're playing all the tracks in order, as you could tell. And overall, I love the vibes this has, you know. The music's great. I love seeing the architecture as well as the famous landmarks. I've never been to Italy or Rome in general, but based off of videos and pictures I've seen, I think this is kind of spot on. It's pretty tight-knit, just like Italy, at least in some places, and I love that. It's challenging, kind of reminds me of Berlin byways, and the scenery changes a lot. You know, we're in the city portion, we were in the square, bam, shock dodge, we were in the Coliseum just now. You know, it's a fun track to play on, and I'm a really big fan of the nighttime vibes. You know, it's very colorful and, like, contrasty. I love it a lot. The fact that we have a lot of obstacles here that make it, you know, challenging and worthwhile driving is a great thing to see. So overall, Rome Avanti is still one of my favorite city tracks. I loved it in Tour, loved it in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is definitely an A-tier track. So here we are, DK Mountain. I'm still surprised that this came to the BCP and not like Dino Jungle. I didn't think we were going to get another DK track. I think we have like 3 in the game. It's so surreal. This is very similar to DK Summit for those who have played Mario Kart Wii. I'm pretty biased because I love both tracks from that game, and it's no exception here. This track is fun to play. There was a new shortcut there that I failed to do shroomless, but what I like about this track more than DK Summit, at least in this game, is this shortcut here is super satisfying because it's like challenging, but it's not too like jank to the point where, like, you know, you run off and you go and fly into the abyss. The bridge here is great. I shook there, as you could tell, because you could try to get more tricks. That's very fun now. In past versions, like in Tour they had a fence and you couldn't fall off, so that was pretty bland. In Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart Double Dash, like, they were pretty wavy, but you couldn't do anything with it, really. So I love how... Oh, we're gonna get hit over here. I love how they changed that. Makes the track a little bit more fun. Let's see. Okay, we got a bullet bill again, but I don't think I'll be able to shortcut. Let's see. Can I get on top? No, I'm gonna use the bullet to smack the Yoshi in the face. But it's the same, like, cool vibes as DK Summit. You know, windy turns, the same as per usual. I have no real concerns with this track. It's just very difficult at first. Like, you have to turn here, then turn again to make this turn. Lots of brake drifting. Another challenging track, and, you know, love shaking over here. See, I got 2 tricks. They added barrels, which are pretty cool, and I think they drop bananas usually. That wasn't there in the original. And it just is an overall good glow up. Like, as you can see here, the volcano looks a lot more menacing. Over here, there's more of an indicator that there's, like, trickable areas. Like, you see these ramps. There were no trickable ramps, really, as much, at least in the original. And as well as Mario Kart Wii, I think there were just, like, 1 or 2 ramps. But this whole, like, volcanic section is just... I don't know, it's less boring. So, give it props to Nintendo for that. And I just think this is, like, my favorite DK-oriented track in this game. I think I like it a little bit more than DK Summit just because it's less jank. So, as I mentioned, I'm biased. I love the DK tracks in general. I love Summit. This is no exception. S tier. Daisy Circuit from Mario Kart Wii. So, I've heard a lot of people do not like this track as much, but personally to me, it's like, I want to say my favorite or maybe second favorite circuit track. I love GBA Luigi Circuit, but we didn't get it. So this is the second best thing. And I love the vibes. Not only do I like nighttime vibes, but also the sunset ones, dude. Just look at this. Look how beautiful the skybox is. You know, all the pretty like celebration streamers or confetti, whatever you want to call it. The shortcut is back. Bringing back so many memories. I love seeing Luigi and Daisy as well as the baby versions, like their statues dancing. It's kind of romantic, almost like Rome Avanti vibes. You know, I feel like I'm in a resort here, chilling. The music is great. Oh, I love the arrangement. But unfortunately, this track is a city track, and most of them are pretty bland. Even though this is like, I want to say my favorite or second favorite one, it falls a little short in the BCP, especially, right? It's a little bit more generic. I do like how the cones like don't ruin you as much. See, like if I run into them. Mario Kart Wii is pretty bad. By the way, I have double bullet bill. That's so funny. Also, Daisy's Cruiser in the background, I believe. That's a nice like reference. Bam, shock dodge. Gonna use my bullet bill to victory. So, despite me liking Daisy Circuit a lot, the music, the vibes, and everything, again, it's a circuit track. Definitely give it B tier. All right, so Piranha Plant Cove, dude. I'm surprised this didn't come to Wave 5 because I think this was like first announced and playable in Mario Kart Tour since like Wave 4's release or something. But yeah, I'm really happy this came to Wave 6 though because it's a very like fun Nitro Tour track. It's so different. We don't have many water tracks in this game, funny enough. And this hits, you know, the checkbox that we're missing. We needed more water tracks. It's not 100% water. As you can tell, we were above ground. And I love how it's sectionated. It's the only, like, tour track that's not a city track that's sectionated, which is cool, right? And as you see, we went to the second lap. The finish line or the whatever, the entering line, like, is the same for the first two laps because it makes sense that Piranha Plant Cove 1 and 2, I think, start in the same way or just very similar. I think, actually, sorry, the starting line is only in Piranha Plant Cove 1, but they were able to change it for 1 and 2 to be cohesive. And I really like what they did, you know, to make that cohesive. And that's what I love about this track. It just flows well, in my opinion. I think a lot of people give this track some hate because some of them have never played this in Tour, and you had to be there. You had to be there when this came out in Tour because it was so magical. It's so different. And it plays well underwater, right? I'm playing this in 200cc. I'm having a good time. I love seeing all the sea creatures, right? The eels and everything. The Temple Run-esque section that we passed through. It's not like any other track. And I love also seeing the Piranha Plant, or sorry, the PD Piranha statues. So yeah, it's just a nice like treasure hunty vibe track. It looks like it's just like in a deserted island, something Tomb Raider-esque as well. And I don't know, like I think this is my favorite Tour Nitro track, so it's definitely an S tier track for me. All right, so here we are, our final city track, Madrid Drive. This is a pretty fun track. It's definitely more spacious compared to Rome Avanti. It also has Wiggler that we just hit. The music's great. It's very Spanishy, and it changes a lot in terms of scenery. It definitely is one of those tracks where it's not like the stereotypical city track where, like, let's say Tokyo Blur. That one's pretty bland in my opinion. This one is definitely not like that. It changes a lot. It's daytime compared to nighttime, and I do think despite it being very fast-paced and it changes a lot, it's still kind of, for whatever reason, I feel like it still blends in a little too much, you know? Like, I know it's very contradictory with what I said, but that's kind of like the feel that I get with it right now. Like, it's still a good track. Like, don't get me wrong. I still like playing it. There's a lot of, like, okay. There's elevation changes and different sceneries. Like, we saw, like, the water geysers go up. There's a couple of shortcuts. There's not too many, and I think if there were more shortcuts, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But yeah, like, something about it, like, its vibe, like, kind of blends in too much, even though it does change, if that makes any sense. I can't really put my finger to it, but definitely the highlight for me is seeing the soccer, aka football stadium. I just hit it with a mushroom. I didn't think I could do that. It's awesome. Like, I think it captures the essence of, like, Madrid vibes, right? Spanish people, especially Real Madrid, for example, it's one of the teams, right? They love soccer. And despite me never being there before in the country, I definitely feel the vibes. It's still pretty good of a track, but not like the best in my opinion. So I think I would definitely give this a B tier track for sure. Here we are, Rosalina's Ice World. No one thought they were gonna include this one. This track is awesome, dude. Oh, I just messed up. So I was trying to do the smart steering tactic, but I pressed the wrong button. We're gonna do that probably the second lap since we have all power items. But this track is here, and at first I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe they added this. Like, we all thought it was gonna be something different, like something, I don't know, like Vanilla Lake or something. But they included this one instead, and I'm happy for it. I forgot this is in Tour. So, like, it's really nice. I like the Galaxy Planetoids in the background. Can we do this correctly this time? Okay, there you go. I almost pressed the wrong button again. That shortcut's awesome. So I'm probably going to be a little biased with my ranking at the end because this is just so fun to do all the time, just to do that shortcut. The penguins are back. It's so, like, magical and, like, colorful. Like, it feels like you're actually in a winter wonderland. I think I like this more than, like, Merry Mountain and any other, like, snow track for sure. The Comet Observatory in the background is great. You know, also something Rosalina-esque. Oh, can we, like, time this? That was insane. That was insane. I cannot believe I blue shell dodge, but also did the shortcut at the same exact time, dude. Oh my gosh. Let me go the bottom route here. So this part's a little bit boring. Like, I wish they had the cheaps, like in CTGP. I don't know if they had it in Mario Kart 7. But, you know, it's still fun to track, honestly. Like, a lot of people don't like this one as much. They think it's, like, overrated. I think it's not. This is definitely one of my more favorable tracks. Like, it's fun to play. It's icy. It's colorful. I love Mario Galaxy. The vibe check is there, so I'm a little bit biased with that, as well as the shortcut, despite it, you know, it could save time. It could not, depending, like, how good you're at it, but as I mentioned, I'm biased for this track. I've always liked it in Mario Kart 7. So this one is an A-tier track for me. SNES BC3. Here we are. Let me just say the glow up is so good. When we saw this first in Mario Kart Tour, it was like phenomenal. But the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version looks even more beautiful. Like, we can see Bowser's Castle in the background. It kind of like reminds me a little bit of the vibes from like Super Mario 3D Land. I don't know, like, that's kind of like what I get, like, some of the levels over there. It's a quick track, too, by the way. Like, since this is from the SNES, a lot of the SNES tracks, you know, Super Mario Kart, they're pretty short. They made this one, like, an elevation change type of track. Like, I love how we're going, like more vertical, so it definitely feels, like, more immersive. You can go on top of these, like, pillars here, but I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a waste of time, especially in 200cc. Like, look at this. Barely staying on the track. We did have the addition of the dry piranha plants, so that's cool. And seeing these fire spires do remind me of Galaxy, like the Magma Galaxy, one of those. This route is pretty cool, how it's the fastest, but it's pretty punishing if the fire spire goes up. But yeah, overall, it's pretty fun to speedrun this track, definitely for sure. But I do have some gripes with it. Like, I don't like how it's pretty short, and it's, like, second to last to Rainbow Road. I feel like every time a Bowser's Castle is next to Rainbow Road, it should be, like, the penultimate, like, Bowser's Castle. And to me, this is not it. So despite it being fun, despite it being, like, a big glow-up from the original, like, I gotta say, you're probably gonna hate me. B tier. Don't hate me. It's a B tier track. It's fun to play. It just doesn't fit the vibe that I'm looking for. And since this is Wave 6 we're talking about, and I'm comparing it as like a whole, right, for the last wave, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's not something like GBA Bowser Castle 4 and or like GCN Bowser Castle, even though that wasn't in Tour. But, you know, I would have preferred tracks like that instead. And finally, here we are, Wii Rainbow Road, dude. Some of you guys already know where I'm going to put this in the placements. But let me just say, dude, this track, man. I have so many memories with this track. Dude, it's so colorful. I'm so glad it's not like the Tour version where they made the colors so, like, dark. Like, look how vibrant it is. The cannon is great. The spiral section looks, like, more cohesive compared to Tour. Like, this part right here. Oh, I just messed up. Oh, by the way, the animation, I love how they kept the animation like in Wii, where like when you fall off, like it looks like it's a meteor crashing. Like that animation's good. This spiral or like slinky is like what I called it in Tour. Doesn't look like a slinky. It just looks, I don't know, more like something from the cosmos. And it's just fun overall, this track. This is, you know, no surprise, my favorite. Wii Rainbow Road is my favorite. Rainbow Road, love the music. The music's great. Even the new background changes, right? It's like a little bit different. Like it's more, I guess like modern, right? Compared to the original. Like there's planets. We see Saturn. That wasn't, I don't think, in the original. But the star bits are back here. Let me just do this normally so you can see it. See, the star bits are there. So galaxy-oriented stuff are here. Like the sling stars. As you can tell already, I like Mario Galaxy. Anything with Mario Galaxy, Bam Shock Dodge. No, that's not Bam Shock Dodge. That's a Blue Shell Dodge. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to saying Bam. Oh, Olimar Ship. I don't know if you saw that, like, above. I like to call it Olimar Ship right there. It looks like it. I love how they included that from Mario Kart Tour. That wasn't in the original. We got Jupiter as well. So, overall, like, the vibes are still here. Since this is my favorite Wii Rainbow Road, despite me falling off right now, despite this being my favorite Rainbow Road, I played it a lot in the Wii, and I'm happy that they made it in Tour, and I'm happy that they included this in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think this track, to end off the BCP, is perfect. It just has all the vibes. It's challenging, it's fun, I love the music, it's vibrant, and it just brings back so many memories as somebody that had Mario Kart Wii growing up as a little kid. So, as expected, Wii Rainbow Road gets S tier. You thought there was gonna be a C tier track on this list, but no, joke's on you. S tier for sure. If there was an S plus tier, I would definitely put it there, but I'm putting everything all in S tier, definitely in the front. My favorite Rainbow Road, as I mentioned, and possibly my favorite track of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching my Wave 6 tier list. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you want to see more Mario Kart content. And comment down below your personal list down below. I would love to hear what you guys think. And I still cannot believe the BCP is over. It's crazy, but we definitely ended off with a bang.